figured it was a big animal because nothing in the woods is that clumsy and makes that big of noise. I've seen bears before, so I just, head back, pick up my tarp and move it away from the anthill. I crawl back in my sleeping bag and don't even worry about the sound and fall right back asleep. I wake up again to something big on the side of my tent. This thing definitely had mass to it. It wasn't just like a deer's hoofs walking. It was something with large feet. I've came across pretty much every single animal that is believed to be in the eastern United States, and none of them really fit the description. It sounded like it was inches away from my head. The tarp itself was like swaying with every step it took. Many other hikers I've backpacked with told me that when they've had encounters with bears, barking like a dog would scare them off. Started running away, like I startled it. I hear the impact of the feet wrestling the leaves along the way. The sound seemed super aggressive, and it seemed like it was coming from a creature that was very, very big. It didn't sound like any animal that I've ever heard of. I know deer make a wheezing noise, but this sounded much deeper, much more guttural. So it was either a mutant deer or it was something entirely different. I wanted to run, but I didn't know where to run to. A lot of times with large predators, if you run, they think that you are some sort of prey. It terrified me. I knew it was probably afraid of me. But I was just as equally afraid of it. When I didn't hear anything out there anymore, I packed up my tarp, packed up my sleeping bag and my sleeping pad. And I made a pretty large fire. Then I took out my knife and I made sure I had it, ready. And I sat there with my little pocket knife. I don't know what good it would have done. I knew whatever was out in the woods, it probably wouldn't have done any good fighting it with this knife. I was too worried that if I would leave in the middle of the night, I would either fall off a cliff or run into this creature. I was actually too scared to do anything, and I was kind of waiting for it to make the next move. So I sat next to the fire for the rest of the night, jumping at shadows. I put out the fire and I hightail it out of there. If a guy like me can have an experience like this, there's definitely a possibility that some large unknown creature exists that, you know, we don't even know about. And I thought about it all the way until I got to my truck. I think a lot of people have these very valid experiences, and a lot of times people just discard them just because there's so much stigma surrounding, you know, the legend of Bigfoot. After the experience, I'm definitely more tolerant of people's stories. I don't just okay, well, yeah, whatever, buddy. You know, I take time to listen to them. I never really even considered I'd come across something of this nature. You know, it wasn't even in my mind.